No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why.
Give me another machine so I can get me a better screen.
Indeed. Good evening, assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Ramadan Mubarak. You are watching a special edition of the Final Call News Hour. I am your host, Herman Muhammad. Now today we're coming out of the brand new issue of the Final Call newspaper, which is entitled Running While Black. Murder charges have been filed against two white men in the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery after a graphic video of the incident was released, sparking protest. But there is still a long road ahead in the fight for justice. And of course, this coverage for this story begins on page 2 and 3 of this edition of the Final Call. Again, my name is Brother Herman Muhammad. I'm your host for tonight. The Final Call newspaper, or the Final Call News Hour, pardon self, is the partner of the Final Call newspaper. The Final Call newspaper is the most widely circulated black-owned and operated publication not only in this country but in the world, and also serves as the communication organ for the Nation of Islam. This evening, I am so pleased and honored to come before you with this with coverage from this edition of the Final Call News paper, and I'm also honored because we have a wonderful guest. But before we get to him, I just want to remind you all that if you are watching the Final Call News Hour on YouTube, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the like, share, and subscribe button so that we can keep pushing this positive content. We're fastly approaching 1,000 subscribers. That'll be a nice little milestone for the Final Call News Hour. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep bringing this positive content. You know what I'm saying? That's Ebonics. There is no booty shaking or hood fights on the Final Call News Hour. This is premium content. This is premium, high level discussion and content. All right, so go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Our guest this evening, we had him on before a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately we were having some technical difficulties, and I didn't like the way that the show turned out in terms of technically. The content was great. Brother was on fire, but he serves as the Student Western Regional Prison Reform Minister in the city of Fresno, California. He also serves as the student minister there over the study group. It's my honor to introduce to our listening and viewing audience Brother Hasan Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hasan.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. I want to thank you again for giving me an opportunity to share with your listeners. You say it's your honor, but it's equally my honor to be invited on this platform. And, I'm certainly grateful to Allah to be here. I want to say Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak.
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam and Ramadan Kareem.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. So yeah, man, we'll get right into it, Brother Hasan. We got a lot to cover, man. We got a lot to cover in just a short time to do it in, but all praise is due to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah.
Now, as I was saying, this issue is entitled, and let me give the people a a picture of that issue again, Running While Black, and you can pick that issue up, not from your brother FOI in the streets of the cities of America, because this is quarantine time. This is, matter of fact, this is the quarantine show part 7 up in this piece, right? So you got, if you need to get the Final Call, and you absolutely do, you need to go to finalcalldigital.com and subscribe. We're asking everyone, please, to subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. You won't get no news like you get in the Final Call newspaper, and we're about to demonstrate that to you in a few minutes. So Brother Hasan, as we get into this issue, man, it deals with the case of our brother Ahmaud, I want to say his name right, Arbery, or Arbery. It's probably Arbery. There's not 2 R's, so I'm going to say Ahmaud Arbery. And the fact that this young brother about 2 months ago was murdered in Brunswick, Georgia. And so I want to go to the story that's in the Final Call newspaper. Right. And it appears on page, this story appears on page 3, and it starts, a lynching in the middle of the street. Arrest of whites involved in killing of unarmed young black male in Brunswick, Georgia is just the beginning in fight for justice. And it's written by our brother, who's a contributing writer to the Final Call, Brother Brian 18X Crawford. And it starts out, 74 days. That's how long it took for 2 white men to be arrested for the murder of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia. 64-year-old Gregory McMichael and his 34-year-old son Travis were charged with murder and aggravated assault in a shocking encounter that left another unarmed black man dead at the hands of white men with firearms. The arrest, May 7th, came one day after a video of the incident was leaked to social media. A video that had been in the possession of authorities but sealed under the excuse that it could not be released due to an ongoing investigation. Man, that's the story of our brother Ahmaud Arbery. Now, Brother Hasan, you read the article. What comes to mind? What are your first thoughts when we deal with situations like this? Because this isn't new.
No, sir, it's not new. And first of all, brother, the whole thing, did they say 74 days later?
Yes, sir.
Is that what the article said?
74 days, brother.
And, this man, from what I understood from reading the article and from the reports that I've gotten, used to work for law enforcement.
Right.
And that had a whole lot to do with how they handled the case. So it would make sense to me, knowing how these people operate, that they would try to hide the evidence that would, indict them. Further down in the article, the question is asked, well, what would have happened if it was 2 armed black men that shot a white man, right?
Right.
The whole thing would have been turned around. Those brothers would have been arrested, immediately. But let me say this, brother, see, we have failed. Beyond Elijah Muhammad said, and I said this last time you blessed me to be with you on your show. We don't understand the nature of the people that we're dealing with. And because we don't understand the nature of the people that we're dealing with, and we don't understand the time and what the time requires, Elijah Muhammad said we keep making these fatal mistakes and expecting justice to come from a people who don't have it in them really to give us justice. So, brother, it's sad We are sad that our brother lost his life. But I'm going to tell you that it's going to continue to happen. This is not the first time. This is not the last time. We saw it here in the same paper where another cop was, I think, not brought to justice, but arrested somebody. I just kind of skimmed through the article for murdering a 12-year-old boy.
Right.
This mentality continues to permeate, white America. And even in the article, it said that some of them were even beginning to gather money together for their defense.
Right.
We saw that happen when that white boy, I forgot his name, murdered 9 of our people down in the church. They raised close to, I think it was $4 million, somewhere between $4 million to $7 million
Yes,
inside
sir.
of a couple of weeks, to defend him. So we have to just deal honestly with the brutality and stuff that we're dealing with. And the sad thing is, brother, remember, if the person who made the tape or recorded the video, according to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't release it first, it probably would have never went public.
Right.
So the only thing that we would have had if he wasn't there, if he didn't release the tape, would have been their testimony as to what happened.
Right.
And we can't trust, and we know we can't trust them to tell us the truth. It always comes out, that it was something going on that wasn't mentioned. So, this is just business as usual. And what's going to happen? We're going to march, we're going to protest, and then all of a sudden we're going to go back to sleep. And like I heard Minister Farrakhan say years ago, and then what? It happens again.
Right.
So,
man, and that's a good point. And if you all are just joining us, we're talking about the current issue of the Final Call newspaper, Running While Black, and we're talking about, and this deals with the case of our brother Ahmaud Arbery, who was murdered by these two characters right here. And I'm gonna give you a shot of these dudes. The poster child's daddy and son of white supremacy down south in Brunswick, Georgia. They murdered the brother while he was jogging down the street. They chased him, and you make a very interesting point, Brother Hasan. And the paper makes it as well, that had it not been for the video being released, then where would this case be? Brother starts out the article saying it's 74 days. That's how long it took. And so 74 days, that means that these men, for the last couple of months, they murdered a brother in the middle of the street, but they've been going home, eating cornflakes or whatever these corn-fed crackers eat. They've been watching videos and movies and enjoying life. Meanwhile, while this young man is laying on a slab, his family longing for justice, and the masses of the people not even knowing that it even happened. I just heard about it last week.
It's mass deception, brother. It's a cover-up. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to cover it up. See, if they really wanted justice, they would have brought all the facts to bear in the beginning. This is what we know. This is what happened. They would have let us see what happened. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't have any justifiable reason. And remember, we know that the devil pulled the gun on the man because the brother was getting the best of the dude when they was going through the shoulder. Right? He probably would have whooped. That brother was running. They said he always ran. If he was a jogger, he's probably in good shape, right? And he was whooping the younger one. Let's just keep it real. He was whooping the younger one, and the older one was in the truck with the shotgun. I said, we ain't gonna win this one. So they went to the double. They went to the shotgun and shot the brother because they couldn't win the fight coming from the shoulder. They were cowards. They were cowards, brother. That's what they did. They just cowered. That was 2-on-1. He said, no, we can't do this. He's whooping my son. I'm 64 years old myself. I'm probably running, pork chop, eating, probably cigars, smoking. whiskey, drinking.
Right.
You know, he wanted no shape to go toe to toe with that brother, so he shot it. And it's just a disgrace. And they was trying to hide it, and they was trying to cover it up. And then later in the article, the guy that excused himself from the case said, well, you know, some other members of his family were involved in criminal activity, which probably led him to be involved in some criminal activity.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So we just have to tell the truth, man. These people are not going to give us justice. Like I heard Brother Minister Jabril wrote, who writes the article in the paper, 11 Farrakhan to Travel. He was doing the speech. He said, white folks ain't going to do right.
Right.
He said, it's not. He said they have had plenty of time to do right. But we see this reoccurring, and it's going to keep reoccurring until something is done. And that's why we teach that God has definitely intervened in our affairs in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raised a messenger for you and I, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and now we have in our midst the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to help us to see and to understand what it is that we're really dealing with.
Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir. Now, dealing with why it took so long. The paper goes on to say the arrest of May 7th came one day after a video of the incident was leaked to social media. A video that had been in the possession of authorities but sealed under the excuse that it could not be released due to an ongoing investigation. When the video began circulating online, it was unclear who recorded it and who released it. And while it's been speculated that a third witness, William Roddy Bryan, is the person who may have filmed Ahmaud's last moments alive, Alan Tucker, an attorney from Brunswick, admitted to being in possession of the video and releasing it to the public. Now, this is a very interesting point because it had been reported that it was two vehicles that were involved in trying to corner the brother while he was running down the street. And one was driven by the McMichaels. Let me give you a shot of these, again, these characters. And the other one was driven by, and I saw the cat on CNN. I don't have an image of him, but he looked like Jim Carrey. He had a haircut like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. But he was the one who did the filming, who videotaped it. And this attorney Tucker is his attorney. Alan Tucker is his attorney. And it seems to me that he's trying to get ahead of his client being charged as opposed to being a witness. You understand what I'm saying? Because they described him in the police report as not as William Bryan, which is his name, but they described him as being Roddy. Now, did you hear anything about this? Uh-oh. All right, Brother Hasan, we back. We got a little technical difficulty. We're going to work this thing out, though. But,
we got an echo, you know that?
We got an echo? Let me turn it down a little bit. You got an echo on your end?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad here. Okay, so what I was asking was about the video circulating. And had it not been for the video, which turns out was released by this cat, William Roddy Bryan's attorney, whose name is Alan Tucker, who's from Brunswick, Georgia. He admitted to being in possession of the video and releasing it to the public. Now, had it not been for this video, what would have happened? And what do you think his attorney was trying to do with regards to releasing the video?
Well, I think the point that you made earlier was correct, that this lawyer was trying to get in front of it. You know, when you start thinking about releasing information and stuff, you know, people start talking about you trying to interfere, you're trying to obstruct justice, you're trying to, basically obstruct justice, which is what we know they were doing.
Right.
Based on the fact that they didn't release the video. So the releasing of the video, we thank Allah that the man did release it, because this is another account. I mean, if you and I have an incident and unfortunately one of us passes away, then the only account that they have is of the person that's living.
Right.
So in this case, the only testimony we would have had, well, we saw him running down the street. He was coming out of a house. Somebody said that, he looked like somebody, and there was a conflict. And, the thing, it got out of hand, and we shot it.
Right.
And we shot him. We see that a lot of times in police killings. We have caught people on camera kill our people.
Right.
On camera.
Right.
It off. We watched them strangle that brother in New York on camera and got off. We watched the cops shoot that little 12-year-old brother on camera because somebody said he had a gun. It was a play gun. He got out the car, didn't ask any questions. It just went to banging on the little brother and killed him.
Right.
On camera. And I believe he got off.
Right.
So we can't trust these people, man.
That's right.
We can't trust them.
That's right. Now here's something, man, that I haven't heard anywhere else, and you're only gonna get this in the Final Call News paper. And it was talking about the background of Greg McMichaels, who's the elder McMichael, and his son Travis is the one who had the shotgun, who actually shot the brother 3 times, not twice like it was initially reported. But the Final Call reads, racial tensions between black and white in the Deep South is interwoven into the fabric of people's very existence. And in the wake of Ahmaud's death, those feelings of tension and animosity were brought back in the crudest of ways. It's worth noting that Gregory McMichael, let me give you a shot of these crackers again. Gregory McMichaels, a former area police officer, was the investigator in 2013 when Ahmaud Arbery was charged with bringing a gun to a high school basketball game that he was later given probation for. In his letter of recusal to Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr, George Barnhill, the original prosecutor on the case, wrote, "This family are not strangers to the local criminal justice system. From best we can tell, Ahmaud's older brother has gone to prison in the past and is currently in the Glen jail without bond, awaiting new felony prosecution. It also appears a cousin has been prosecuted by DA Katherine Johnson's office." Now, this is classic. This is classic, Brother Hasan. They are doing what they always do. When they get caught killing a black man on tape, we're gonna blame the victim now.
We're gonna blame the victim. It's apples and oranges. So what if my brother has a criminal? I'm not saying that the brother did have a criminal background, but what if he did?
Right.
You and I are brothers. We come up in the same house, and so now I have a problem with the law. Then all of a sudden you have a running with the law, and all of a sudden they're going to point to me. Well, his brother's like that.
Right.
I have some cousins that was doing some stuff he shouldn't have been doing. So this is a pattern. This is what this family does. They have a history of doing this kind of. One has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
So now, to my knowledge, his brother had no criminal background. To my knowledge. He wasn't, maybe if he did get into some trouble, so what? I've gotten into some trouble. You probably got into some trouble, but that doesn't justify you shooting me down like a dog in the middle of the street.
Right.
And then you want to call that, and you want to call all of that back up to say that on the undertone, like you said, brother, it was really the brother's fault.
Right.
He shouldn't have been, he's black. He shouldn't have been running down the street.
Right.
In an uppity cracker neighborhood, right? And check this out. The article said that the city was 60% black.
Right.
And 40% white. And it's the 40% that's running the city. So I mean, we're visiting it all over again. And I was reading the article, it reminded me of this scripture where Minister Farrakhan was saying that when the children of Israel went out, they would being bitten by fiery serpents.
Right.
Young Minister Louis Farrakhan said that these fiery serpents in the modern context represents angry white people. See?
Yes, sir.
And right, and that I don't have the scripture here in front of me, but what I'm saying to us is that as long as we keep making these fatal mistakes to think that somehow or another that America's going to change her mind, she's going to change her heart. We heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the prayer line the other day, pleading with America to change her ways before death comes.
That's right.
And now it's here. And so part of what we're suffering, it's unfortunate, and we don't want to make light of brothers' unfortunate incident, but these kinds of incidents, these shootings, these mass killings, these people shooting us and hanging us and getting off is because we refuse to hear the voice of God in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes,
when I was reading the the Fall of America in the section, The Worst Is Yet to Come, which is the last chapter in the Fall of America. Brother, I have to tell you, man, I really started, getting nervous because as I was reading it, it was like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote these books, like for right now.
Right.
Even though the book was published in 1973, he saw the future.
Right.
And now when you read Our Savior Has Arrived, when you read The Message to the Black Man, when you read The Fall of America, and you see the things that's going on with our people right now, it was like he wrote these books for the time that we're in right now. We have to wake up, man. This is the final call.
Right.
So this is the final call. And we keep making these mistakes, these kinds of things are going to continue to happen to us. And we can't afford it anymore. We can't protest. We have to get with Sister Ava and what she's doing, and we have to really begin to talk about separating.
Right.
And building an independent nation for ourselves. That's the only way we're going to get justice.
Man, praise be to Allah. Man, man, we right there. We right there because I was just about to ask you, brother, because in the article, our people, bless their heart. Bless their heart.
For real, man. Bless their hearts. For real.
They talking about protesting and whatnot. And brother, what does protesting do? Tell me what does it do? In your opinion.
Nothing, brother. It really doesn't. The only way that a protest can change something is it's got to be in the heart of the person that you're protesting to change. Sister Ava, who's a lawyer and the national spokesman for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, said, as Muslims, we don't protest.
Right.
We don't do that. If I'm protesting, that means it's because I believe that there's something in the heart of the person that I'm protesting against that's going to bring about some change. So, if I'm crying out in words. Give me justice.
Right.
Okay? Because I believe that there's something within you that's going to make you to see and understand that justice must be done.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have protested. We have marched. We have sat in. We've done every possible thing that we possibly can do to get justice from white people. So Minister Farrakhan, last time we went to Washington, D.C., not last time, but in 2015, the theory was what? The theme was what? Not the theory. The theme was what?
Justice or else.
Or else.
Yes, sir.
See? Justice or else. Or what does the or else mean? The or else means that, look, America is under, as we speak right now, brother, under the divine chastisement of God.
Go ahead, brother.
And that's what this part of what, in my belief, what part of what this coronavirus is all about. It's out of the hands of the scientists now, if you ask me.
Yes,
this thing is absolutely in the hands of Almighty God. He is moving all the pieces on the chessboard. The pieces on the black side and the white side.
Yes, sir.
He's moving all the pieces on the chessboard. And he's going to be the determining factor as to what happens as a result of this. See? And America has earned her doom. But unfortunately, brother, as the black man and woman in America, the so-called Negro, we're earning our doom as well because we are not heeding the call to get up and to go and to do something for ourselves. And until we do that, these kinds of things are going to continue to happen. It's unfortunate, but the minister has been warning us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us.
Right.
You know? Now Minister Farrakhan has warned us. He has been a faithful teacher.
Right.
A faithful warner.
Yes, sir.
Man, he has not, it's been all black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Yes,
Telling
sir.
us exactly what's going to happen. And now we're facing it, brother. We're catching it.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm man, praise be to Allah. As you were speaking, man, and talking about protests, I showed a couple of images of black protesters and white protesters. And in the black protests, you had images where a brother holding a sign talking about, "I'm not a threat. Stop racist police terror." And you had the sisters saying, "Stop killing us. Black lives matter." You know what I mean? Playing with the slave master to stop. But on the other hand, you got the white protesters who holding guns, brother. You know, especially during this coronavirus, because they want America to open back up, and they're demanding it of their government. And I'm putting an emphasis on their government because they're the ones who are considered to be citizens. And, you know, as a result, you and I both know that their protest works because they are citizens, and now the government is beginning to open up. But we're making you make an excellent point about the prospect of separation, that is the only solution, the best and only solution, because we can't live with these people in peace.
Well, you know, that's right. Separation, the program says, is the best answer and only solution to the problem of black and white. I may not be quoting it properly, but you said something else. You said that, you know, we can't live with them.
Right.
Brother, we don't live with white people. We live under them.
Right.
Sister Ava made that distinction for me. She said, brother, you don't live with white people.
Right.
You live under them.
Right.
And we have to make that difference, that delineation. You know, we don't live with them. We live under them. And as long as we live under white people, and she said, as long as we live among white people, we will live under white people, and then we'll just never be free to be that which God has made us to be. You see? And that's what we're dealing with. And a lot of it, Brother Herman, has a lot to do with the fact that we do not know and understand. And those of us who hear what we're saying and understand what we're saying refuse to accept the truth of what it is that we're saying.
Yes,
We've
sir.
been here now over 400 and almost 47 years. If you do the math.
Right.
2020 from 1555, what's that? That's almost 475? It's been a long time. Certainly it's been over 400. We just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's been
That's 445 years, brother.
We have done the 400 years.
Yes, sir.
As it says in the book of Genesis. Minister Farrakhan made that clear.
465 years, excuse me. It's 465 to be exact.
465 to be exact.
Yes, sir.
So let me step away just real quick. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Now, I want to remind everyone that the current issue of the Final Call newspaper is Running While Black. Murder charges have been filed against 2 white men in the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery after a graphic video of the incident was released, sparking protests. But there is still a long road ahead in the fight for justice. And we're tuned in with our brother Hasan Muhammad of Fresno, California, the Western Regional Prison Reform minister, and also the student minister in Fresno, California.
Trying to be a good student. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
So
go ahead.
brother. Yeah, my family just came in the door, Frank. I apologize. But
Oh, it's all good.
that's the answer. See, we're going to be we're going to be here 4 or 5 articles, 4 or 5 papers later,
Talking about another one.
talking about another incident. You know, last time I was on, we was talking about the coronavirus and how it's ill affecting black people, the black man and the black woman, not the African American, because you're not an African and you're not an American.
Right.
Okay? You're the Asiatic black man, the original man. That's who you are. See? Then we look at the disparities in education. We look at the disparities in prisons, in prison reform. Right now, brother, student minister Abdullah has got us doing some research on the coronavirus and how it's ill affecting the prisoners, you know, and black prisoners in particular. And brother Cyril, who's helping me out here on the West Coast, has been trying to call to get the information, and they've been holding it back.
Right.
So now we might have to seek out some other sources to find out so we can get the actual numbers on what's going on with our brothers and sisters with this coronavirus inside of the prisons. So, I mean, look, when you look at the health disparities, when you look at the wealth gap, you were telling me that you got a show you call Colorado Black Money Mob or something.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? When you talk about black economics.
Absolutely.
The wealth gap, the average white family has a net worth 10 times that, or almost, I'll put it to you like this, for every dollar they got, we got a dime.
That's 10 times.
Right. Okay, for every dollar they got. So the average net worth of the black American family is, the white man's is, he got 10 times as much as we got. So all of these gaps that we have, see, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan just wrote a book called what? Closing the Gap.
Yes, sir.
See, we got to close these gaps. Now, we're not going to close the gap because, again, as you said to us earlier, we don't live, or what we said earlier, we don't live with white people. We live under white people.
Right.
So, when it comes to making the major decisions, when it comes to economics, when it comes to education, when it comes to law, we're not really at the table. We think we're at the table, but we're really not at the table.
Right.
Because nothing really gets any better. And I mean, God is just whooping us, bro. He's going to whoop us into shape. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, teaching is not going to change this people.
Yes, sir.
Teaching is not going to change us. I know I need a whooping, brother. I'll be the first one to tell you. You understand
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? I mean, for real, because, I mean, it's just getting to the point to where they're making it very obvious now. If you just look at the statistics across the board, these people do not want us here.
Right.
And we have a justifiable reason to separate and to do something for ourselves.
Yes, sir. All praises due to Allah. Now, man,
Praise
with the few minutes we have left, time done ran. Time has run. I wanted to say just about everything that we've been talking about, because we're talking about. I mean, because we could always point out the problems, right? But rarely does the Negro have a solution. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan absolutely have solutions to the problems that plague all of our people and oppressed people throughout the world. So again, the current issue is running while black, but right at the top, it's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article is entitled, "Who is the Natural Enemy of the Original Man?" And if we have this particular root knowledge, then we don't have no problem with understanding what the solution to our problem is. So I wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
ask you, Brother Hasan, who is the natural enemy of the original man?
The Caucasian. He's the natural enemy. His ways are not our ways. He's grafted from the original. He has a contrary way of life, a contrary way of existing. The scripture says, know for sure till thy people shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we are in a strange land amongst some very, very strange people.
Yes, sir.
That's what they taught. You know, all of us are witness bearers to the truth of what they taught. Minister Farrakhan really is the only teacher on scene today. All of us are just witness bearers to that which he is teaching us.
Right.
And because we have been given a solution, to our educational problem. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad set up 46 independent schools
Right.
throughout America. And he graduated students, never had disciplinary problems. You talk about education, no other leader in America has produced the likes of Imam Ward-Din Muhammad,
Right.
Brother Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and of course now our brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Right.
That's a testament to what independent education will do for a black man. You know, when I was watching with my grandson, The Great Debaters, the movie that Denzel Washington did, I said, see, son, that's a picture of what independent black education will do.
Right.
See, then he got them in his hand, he molded them and he shaped them. And at the very beginning, before they even started to debate, he said, the enemy doesn't matter and God is the judge. And once he put God there, they excelled and they beat everything moving. They went all the way up to Harvard and they whooped them, did they not?
That's
a
right.
signal. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said your answer to education is to set up independent education. You want to improve your health? All the doctors that I know in the Nation of Islam, when we visit them, the first thing they ask us is, brother, how many meals have you been eating a day?
Right.
Right?
Come
That's
on.
the first thing Dr. Sophia is going to ask you. That's
Right.
the first thing Dr. Akira is going to ask you. That's the first thing Dr. Ali is going to ask you. Are you eating the way that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad prescribed?
Right.
That's the first thing. For all the answer to our ills is, health ills is how to eat to live.
Right.
Then he gave us an economic program. Let's take a nickel, 16 million Americans, a nickel a day for 3 years, 16 million of us, it comes up to $291 million in 3 years that
Yes,
we can
sir.
leverage,
Yes, sir.
right?
That's
to
right.
build independent institutions. That's the solution.
Yes, sir.
The solution is to do it for ourselves. And if we don't want to do it for ourselves, God is going to continue to whoop us until finally, and I'm telling you, man, when God killed this white boy and he owned it, and he's doing it right now, he gonna kill us too. And it's really a shame because we have no justifiable reason to continue to believe
Right.
in these people.
Yes,
We
sir.
just don't. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm holy. I'm not saying you are. We all got our demons. We're all struggling to overcome the low desires and the weaknesses of ourselves. But the one thing that I'm clear about is that if I'm going to be the man or the man that God wants me to be, I'm going to have to separate. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the Message of the Black Man, when I read this the first time, it blew my mind, Brother Herman said, it's more important to teach the black man separation than it is to teach him to pray.
That's right. That's right.
I said, how could that possibly be?
Right.
And then later on, I found out from Minister Farrakhan, of course, because, brother, I don't care how much praying you do.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you continue to live with these people, you're going to continue to do the things that you do.
Wow.
You must be separated. And you must go for self. And God is present in the person of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to guide us in that way. We have
Yes,
to
sir.
separate and do something for self.
Praise Allah. Man.
All praise due to Allah.
Hey, and I love the way you answered that question straight. When I asked you who is the enemy of the original man, you answered that straight. But I wanted to. That's a hard pill a lot of times for our people to swallow. But I just want to encourage our brothers and sisters to get this latest edition of the Final Call, because they can read the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's answer with regards to that. And I just want to read a little bit of it, then get your thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up. But the minister writes, and this is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan: Satan, the devil, the natural enemy of the original man and God. When God creates a creature, he gives it a nature that justifies its existence when it behaves as the Creator created it to be. You don't justify your existence by being other than who you are. You justify being here by learning and being yourself. Every creature that God created, he gives it an aim and a purpose that's not written in a book. It's written in the nature of that creature. You and I are the supreme creatures of God. There's nothing greater than the Homo sapien, or man and woman. Whether you want to believe it or not, there would be no mankind, that's a white man, if there were no original man. And original man is you, black man and woman. White people are Johnny-come-latelys on our planet. I'm not making mockery. They were given a purpose and they have fulfilled it. So I just wanted to read that, brother. I just wanted to read that because it makes it clear.
You gonna drop that on me like that?
You know what I'm saying?
You want me to?
Go ahead, parse that if you want to.
Brother, those words are so pregnant. You know, but in a nutshell, we have been trying to live a life that is contrary to the nature in which we were created.
Right.
We're trying to be people that we're not.
Yes,
we have to accept the fact that, you know, we are the original. I heard Brother Jabril teach one time. He said, original doesn't only mean first. Original means something that has a root in its own self. That's heavy. That Allah God is a self-created black man, which is the science that Brother Dr. Wesley is taking us up into right now.
Yes, sir.
And so now you have, if we're the mothers and the fathers, and the white men are the children, now you have a situation where the children are running the house and making a muck of it.
Right.
So we have to first learn who we are. It starts with knowledge of self, and it starts with knowledge of others as well. And we have been robbed of that knowledge. You know, if the white man is not a native, as we were taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's not the Native American, he's not the Native Asian, he's not the Native, even the Native European.
Right.
Where did he come from?
Right.
He's grafted from the original.
Man.
And we have to understand that he's grafted from the original. Like you said, he's mankind.
Right.
Right? He's not a kind, he is a kind of the original.
Right.
And as I was listening to Minister Farrakhan the other day talk, we are not to parade our blackness as if it's a badge of superiority. We're not taught that. We're just taught the truth of who we are.
That's right.
And we are the original people.
That's right.
And we have to begin to act in accord with that nature. And once we begin to act in accord with that nature, I mean, really, you don't need a gun. Because what's at the seat of the white man's existence now is the way that we think. See? Minister Farrakhan said that Yaqub was born with a determined idea.
Yes.
See? And that he was, and in the lessons it says that he was taught to do this devilishment, which is lying, stealing, right? and how to master the original man.
Yes, sir.
So the thing that keeps him in power is the way that this black man in America thinks. And because we don't think that we can go without him, we won't leave him.
Right.
And the white man knows that. So he does everything he possibly can to hold on to us. Because if that black man wakes up and sees that he is the original man, that his root is in his God and in himself, that he don't need us to exist, and once we get up and go, he's gone.
Right. Man, praise be to Allah, brother. Praise
You know, we
Allah.
got to change the way we think.
Yes,
we
sir.
need a serious paradigm shift up in here.
Indeed.
We really do.
Indeed.
All praise is due to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah. Brother Hasan.
Yes, sir.
Time done flew, brother.
It does. Time flies when you're having fun.
When
And
you're
brother,
having
I really
a ball.
appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share, because you know the Minister Farrakhan said it is the word of God that generates the highest level of electrical energy.
Yes, sir.
And you know, you can't help but be on fire, you know, when you're on the line with your brother,
Man,
you know, talking
praise
about the
be
wisdom
to
of
Allah.
Almighty God. So I thank you, brother, and I'm working on getting my show so I can invite you on and have you drop some bombs.
Man, praise be to Allah. Praise
Yes,
be to
and
Allah.
I want you to know, man, I have been enjoying your show. I have been enjoying your interviews. I have been enjoying your teaching. You're doing a wonderful job, brother. May Allah continue to bless you.
Man.
You know, in your effort to help raise our people.
Indeed, brother. May Allah bless you as well, brother. And thank you for taking the time to come on. I'm sure the people are really
Anytime,
enjoying
brother.
exactly what it is that you're dropping, because this is very powerful. Like I said, man, this content that we got going on the Final Call News Hour, and really on any show, man, where you'll see brothers and sisters from the Nation of Islam, it's gonna be on the highest level, and it's gonna vibe on the highest vibration, like you were saying. And so that's what we want to continue to do. So you all out there in YouTube land, hit that like, share, subscribe, and let's build this thing. Let's build not only a nation for ourselves, but let's also build a media for ourselves, which is what the Final Call News Hour and the Final Call newspaper represent. True, independent black media. And Final Call Radio, thank you, beloved. I got a picture of tune in to Final Call Radio, and you can tune in 24 hours a day. All you got to do is go to finalcall.com and click on that icon. Again, pick up finalcalldigital.com. That's where you're going to get your digital edition of the Final Call newspaper, and it comes on your tablet. And this thing is so awesome, man. I was reading the paper, and you could click on a link inside the app, and it takes you to the video. And you know, I want to see the brothers, you know what I'm saying, but it had video coverage of what happened to the young brother. I mean, it's just a powerful instrument, man. So get that digital Final Call.
This is a powerful media, and we have to learn. I'm learning now how to use it.
Yes,
to
sir.
get the word out. We have to learn how to use it. All praises due to Allah.
Indeed. All right, my brother. Again, I appreciate you, brother. May Allah bless
Allah
you.
bless you.
Yes,
And
sir.
keep you in His care, you and your family, and stay safe, man. I know you cutting your hair. Keep your mask on, brother Herman.
Indeed, mask, gloves, and we masking and gloving up everybody. So all
I'm
praises
kind
due to
of
Allah.
for it here. I'm thinking about I might have to get on the airplane, come to Denver.
I don't know if they gonna let you in, man. These airplanes, they be tripping.
Is that right? They showed on the news today. They had an airplane full of people.
Really? Okay.
Masks on, everything.
They easing the restrictions, brother. They easing them up slowly but surely.
But you know, we want to follow the instructions of God's man. He's the one that's going to ease the restrictions on us.
That's right. That's
As
right.
long as he tell us to wear masks, we're going to wear one. As long as he tell us to wear gloves, we're going to wear them. We don't care what these people are talking about.
And shelter in the whole nine, brother. I don't mind.
Until the minister say come out.
Exactly.
You know, and we chomping at the bit anyway. We want to get out there with that final call, but you know,
Indeed.
we're under the guidance of a divine man, and we have to act in accord with that.
All praise is due to
All
Allah.
praise is due to Allah. Love you, black man.
Love you
May
too,
Allah
brother.
bless you.
Yes,
Assalamu
sir.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Praise be to Allah. That was our brother Hasan Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah, man. Excellent, excellent representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We up on time, y'all. Again, pick up that Final Call newspaper. Definitely do that. Also, let me see here. FinalCallDigital.com. Make sure you pick that up. Check out Final Call Radio at FinalCall.com. Once we get up and Adam, we definitely want to invite you out to our meetings. So go to noidenver.org and check out what we have going on locally in the city of Denver. Man, it's been a blast. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. And remember that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace. We out. Check out our social media. This is my little nephew, Trav Rich, on the track.
From rags to riches to bad bitches, I had the vision, just added wisdom, a mathematician to say.